Hey, Shalom guys. So Abba showed me something earlier today and I just had to share it with y'all. This isn't a part of the series he has me doing right now, but it's really cool what he showed me. So y'all are familiar with the story of Esau and Jacob, or Esau and Yaakov. So this is in Genesis chapter 25. And in that story that we read, Esau was hungry. And he was so hungry that he sold his birthright to have some soup, some food. So he sold his birthright. Well, I was shown people are selling their birthright. They are choosing to alter themselves, alter their DNA molecules, and they are doing this so that way they can have their freedom. So you can go to the grocery stores, so you can have the luxuries and the food and all these things that people desire in the flesh of this world. They rather alter themselves to have these freedoms, as people call them. But it's not freedom at all, it's bondage. It's bondage of the mind. And that is where the battle is really happening today. People are choosing the world, and what the world is telling them to do, they are choosing to follow that pathway and worship the system that we are under, the people that we are under. And the people that we are under, the leaders, they are all pitching their tent with the wrong Elohim. And that ties into Baal and Molech worship. Okay? So I could go a lot deeper into all of this, into the categories of our DNA being altered, which I've done other videos, but I didn't make the connection of our molecules into the story of Esau and Jacob until today. People are willing to do anything to have that freedom in the flesh. And we have to stand up for righteousness. We can't give in to the principalities that are ruling over the people of this earth. We have to stand up. We have to fight. We have to fight in the right way. And I've said in other videos that these molecules, something was shared with me by a girlfriend that I recently just met, and I guess I'll mention her name. Her name's Amy, and Amy shared with me that the word molecule is the root word Melech. And so literally Melech and Malak come from the word messenger. So the word messenger should sound familiar to some people who are into the DNA and knowing about all of that kind of stuff, that there is something called messenger RNA. And there's a lot of things that are happening with people's DNA today that they don't realize is an everlasting covenant that they have made with the enemy. They have sold their birthright, being made in the likeness and image of Elohim, and they have decided to pitch their tent with Baal, aka Gariel or Satan. So, and there's nothing that can reverse it. If you become aware of the choices that you've made and you ended up getting this jabberoo, as I like to call it, what's happening is you have chosen not to be made in the likeness and image of Elohim anymore. And you can't reverse that. So that's some tough information to swallow. But the fact of the matter is that our choices are everlasting. We can't just do anything that we want in this world and, oh, well, the Father, He knows my heart. What people don't realize is we are the temple. We are the temple of Elohim. So when we read in our scriptures the temple and where everything was placed and the ark and all these things, they don't realize that we have all of those things inside of our DNA. In fact, the Father's name, Yahweh, is written inside our DNA. YHWH 10565. That is written in our DNA code. By accepting this new Jabiru, it is altering those molecules and it is making you become a hybrid. And I'm not going to go into that deeply because a lot of people have already done that. People already know for the last couple of years that all the stuff that's going on around us, it's not as it has been presented. What I'm talking about here is not misinformation. No matter what people say, what they put on news headlines, what they say on television, you've got to go to the Father and ask Him to reveal things to you. You can't listen to every Joe Schmo, every expert. You have to go to the Father. He created our bodies. So being made in the likeness and image of Elohim, that is not something to take for granted. It is very, very important. We all have a purpose for our Maker. And we need to hold fast to the commands and not love our lives to death. Because the death of the flesh is nothing. But the temple that is inside of us, that's everlasting. If we want to go back to the Garden of Eden, the garden of our mind's ayin, we have to overcome this world that we live in order to go back home. All right, well, that's all I got to say to everyone. So don't sell your birthright. Don't do things to your temple that are keeping you from receiving Abba's blessings. All right, shalom, y'all. Bye.